We're gonna do a little bit of reassembling and turning the car back into a street car, along with a lot more sanding. Chris, what are you up to?
So this morning, I have a huge task ahead of me. I'm gonna remove everything that I can from behind the dashboard that was left. I'm gonna install some sound deadening material and try to just reinstall everything as if it was factory. So we're gonna put the HVAC system back in, the AC, the whole heater box, and just try to get this car cool, get it comfortable to drive on the road.
Let's go work. So far.
Well, you gonna do something today, Chris?
No. Alright, so we got some of that. Up and around, down. Mess. Well, this is jamming. I still have more mat to cut and more mat to cut. We get that whole rest of that going.
What the block sanding has shown us is some of the high spots, which are here, and some of the low spots, which, I'll see if I can catch the light, right there. I'm gonna have to build them up, just like I brought these down, and that way we can get as smooth of a finish as possible when this is all done.
I figured before I put this thing in, it is pretty old. So I might as well just clean it. Take it apart and not have nasty air blowing in our face. Things like that might make some weird noises or anything when we fire this thing up. All right, so I've got this blower motor in. It's all bolted in. You can tell it was in here before because it's painted hot pink, but got some sound deadening material behind it. All this factory brackets are back in. I think I am gonna pull this right back out though, because we have some electronics from gauges and stuff that are kind of coming through where I need the heater core to go. So what I'm probably gonna end up doing is moving that over to this side. So I'll probably pull this out, bring everything in nice and neat, make that pretty, and then put this back in. It's good to know that it's all clean and it fits and all new hardware, so that's cool.
I've got these carbon fiber T-tops that have seen better days. All the clear coat is peeling and coming off, and I'm gonna start to fix those. Sand it, resin it, clear coat it, and then start putting them back together, because those are the T-tops that I want on the Z when we're all finished. I didn't want to mess anything up, and I didn't know how thick that clear was that was on the T-top. So I've resorted to using a DA sander. I started with 500 grit, and that was even really pretty tough. So 320 grit has been taking it off. I've got about half the clear coat off the T-top so far, and I'm just going to keep on working the other half. I just have to be really careful not to sand the carbon fiber. So now we've got one T-top sanded, and a good test just to make sure you got everything off is use wax and grease remover or water, just something to kind of get everything wet so it has the gloss to it. And you can see if you missed any spots. This will basically show it. I'd say this one's done.
That's your power steering pump, that red pulley?
Yeah,
See, it's touching the hose.
I can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just, you know, through that hose.
What did you just find out, Chris?
So like everything, job worth doing is job worth doing twice. So this center section, the part that actually is gonna do the AC part of our work, all of this harness right here goes behind that. So this is actually a mount that angles everything into a 90 that keeps it up against the firewall, keeps it nice and neat. So I'm just gonna pull this section back out and tuck it all nice and neat. But yeah, should have dashboard in here soon. Anyway, so I've got this back out, pulled this back out, and we've now routed the harness where it needs to go, secured it, all OEM stuff. All right, so it comes down, it goes bypasses that heater core, comes right along the OEM mounting tabs, and this knees weak mom spaghetti. Yeah, so just doing it again. All right, let's put it all back together.
Today we're working in the office on these carbon fiber T-tops. I sanded them down yesterday, cleaned them off today, soap and water, and then went over them again with glass cleaner. So they're super, super clean. And then I've got my mix of resin, so that's what we're gonna do now, is just basically put the resin together and pour it on here. Now that I've got my mixture mixed up, and you want to make sure it's 1 part to 1 part, so 50-50. You want to mix it up as good as you can, because if you don't, it just won't harden right. So now that I got it mixed up, and I've got, it's a makeup applicator, but it's got a rubber end to it. That rubber end is just going to help us not have to use our hands. And you just want to kind of evenly make it shiny. Now that we have these resined over, you'll notice that they're really wrinkly. So this is where we come in with a heat gun and smooth everything out. I was heat gunning. I noticed that it looked a little dry over here. So I was just adding a little bit more resin.
Just in this section?
Just in this section, and maybe a little bit over here. Nothing really adding. There we go. You can see now everything's been heat gunned. Everything is smooth. So now I just have to let this dry. And then I'm gonna sand it all down and then clear coat it. That way it just has a little extra UV protection.
All right, so this is something this car hasn't seen in a very, 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 very long time. Look, all the AC controls, heater box controls, door actuators plugged in. This relay's on, plugged in. We've got our door actuator plugged in. Look at that. This thing's gonna be a functioning, cool car. I still have some OEM style zip ties that are gonna hold this all in with the push tab. So stuff like that that's just old and worn out, that can all come off. Get in there, man, get in there. So we're able to just get it by, get that all in place, get all 3 factory bolts on that side. I still have to do the steering column, and then that mount there, the AC is complete. Everything's back in. Look at that. We have a receipt for service. Smile, you're on camera, from the FedEx office. We've got some blue change. You got a tissue, a pink zip tie, a bag of tissues, that were 59 cents. Actually, I kind of recognize those. That might be from Z days. Wow. What is this? This is the 2013 Midwest Z Heritage. Look at that. 2013. Gold. Huh. I don't know what that is at all. Neat. Neat. Spectator tech list. Spocom. Melissa. Dude. So, for those of you that don't know, I met Melissa at Spocom.
Cool.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's the only Spokane I've been to.
Wow.
I started to do a little bit of sanding on this side. There's a little dent over on the other side I'm gonna have to fill. This side, you can see that there's a lot of hail damage. That was from the first year that we moved to Texas, and there was a huge hailstorm, and this happened to be parked outside. So this whole thing, all the paint's gonna come off, put a thin coat of putty over it, and then block sand it, and hopefully that will bring it back to life. We finished most of the sanding today, cleaned everything up, scrubbed, vacuumed, and air blew all of the crap out. When everything was dry, we went ahead and actually primered some of the spots that have exposed metal. And that way, all tomorrow we have to do is just a final light little scuff on that primer, and then we shoot. Hi, Violet. Today, we're doing something a little bit different. Rather than just going straight to the shop and getting to work on the 300, we stopped by Craig's place. Craig is Simtech Motorsports, and we've been collaborating on this Z behind us for Cameron. And I did the paint, he did the body, got rid of all the rust. When I first saw this car, it was on a rotisserie, or a cartisserie. And Craig had started it, and he's just gone through everything. It's a real right-hand drive 240Z. Pretty cool. Now, Craig, tell us a little bit about the shop and what you've done and how long you've been doing it, and just your involvement in the Z community.
Well, I started quite some time ago. Initially, I was doing a lot of tuning. We had a dyno at the shop, and we did a lot of tuning on like the Z cars and some of the Skylines. And over the years, since the classics became more and more sought after, lately we've been doing more restorations. And so, you know, with this car right here, this is an actual Fairlady Z. It's an S31 chassis code. When the car came to me, it was really rusted. For those of you that don't know, typically the JDM cars, they rust out much more than the USDM ones. So the car was really rusted. Client came to me with a pretty decent list of what he wanted out of the car. So basically it's going to be a daily driver, air conditioning, creature comforts, the whole 9 yards. It's not going to be crazy horsepower, just enough to be fun. It's been at the shop for a few years during the restoration process. We're almost at the tail end here, and it's going to go into the paint booth pretty soon to get it some finishing touches. It'll have a full custom aero kit. You know, there's a lot of one-off parts on this car. You know, some of the cars we build, we start developing parts for, and then those parts eventually end up on the market depending on, you know, what people are looking for. But at the moment, our concentration is more, you know, custom builds and, you know, a lot of classic restorations.
This thing is going to be really cool when it's all done. I haven't seen a car leave here not in tip-top shape, because Craig, your attention to detail is top.
Well, thank you. That's cool. Appreciate that.
All right, let's catch you at the shop.
He has food for you.
That guy running away. The lizard.
just take a small breath in. It's like this, right? The stethoscope says like, I don't hear a heartbeat. Let's see if I can hear my pulse. So, if I set this down here, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but so that right there is our problem. Not sure how it happened, but we're gonna fix it. Bam. All right, now we'll grab that. Flip this guy under there. Put this guy up there like that. Just gonna throw that in there. So it has something to kind of bounce off of, not splatter everywhere. Got a big sticky mess. Look, it's doing. There you go. You can kind of see where it rubbed through right there. So hopefully we can secure the new one a little bit better. This is, will do for the time being. So go ahead and throw that on. Plenty of clearance down there. Go ahead and put this one back on. Let's try this side first. Nice. Just like that. Replace the radiator hose. Now we can move this thing to and from. I'll probably tidy it up a little bit later just to kind of get everything clean and nice. But for now, at least the car is going to be able to run and drive to and from, and we don't have to worry about it running out of coolant, make a big mess like this all over the shop.
There's only so much masking that's from the same angle. That looks cool. At least the lighting's good in here now. I got a package today. Luma 3. Ah, my finger. Just kidding. A shoot suit.
Dude, that is a cool shoot suit, huh?
Yeah. It's not white.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, white ones show everything. Warning. Do not look directly into the light or point at anyone's eyes. Each one of these brackets is actually designed for a specific gun. This particular bracket is designed for my SATA 5500. To install it, just take the cap off, take this back bit off, So that way it goes on just like that. You're gonna put these bits back on. Now you are gonna want to tighten. And then you have the light itself. You line up where the slide is, and then it just clicks right in. And then let's go shooting. This must be what it feels like to be Scott Hebler.
Wow, Melissa, nice bucket seat. Melissa is in the booth right now with her new light system for her gun. She's so excited that she has no lights on in there. She's just shooting with a flashlight or a gun light. So it's pretty cool that she's able to do that. I think she's really excited about that thing. Look at her go. Nah. Anyway, I'm working on this thing.
Just finished painting the inside of the Z, the roll cage, some of the interior, and I am wiped out. First impressions on that Luma 3, it actually worked really well. Everywhere my gun went, I could see where the coverage was and wasn't. I definitely spent a lot more time on color than I anticipated, just because I could actually see where everything, like where I was missing paint. So that's good.